Hi everyone, it's Paul Chapman here, Principal from the Central Coast Sports College. It's Thursday the 26th of August and please find following a quick video update. First and foremost, start talking about the COVID-19 lockdown. We're going into multiple weeks of the lockdown for us. Unfortunately today the Premier didn't make any significant announcements that really affected schools in the short term. There was mention that the lockdown for regional New South Wales, which is what we're now included as, has been extended for an additional 2 weeks. So we will continue to be in lockdown as a general community for the next at least 2 weeks. And as a school, I'm assuming that means that we will continue to be in lockdown as well. So I would ask families, we've updated the planning form that we typically send out on a Wednesday. I held off on sending this video update out last night because I was looking to see if there was any updates today from the government. However, there hasn't been any updates that really are going to make any significant changes for us in the short term. So if I could ask families to complete that planning form, we have set up the planning form for you to be able to let us know for the next fortnight what your child's plans are and your plans for your child. We would ask families as well to make sure that when you submit that form that you ensure that we follow through with that. We've had a few instances over the last couple of weeks where people have put down that the child was going to work from home and then they've actually come to school, or the reverse, where they've actually said they were going to come to school and they've actually stayed home. It makes it very difficult for us to plan and deliver a good quality service because we've had staff either working from home or at school based on that planning form. And without accurate information, it makes it really difficult to ensure we've got appropriate staff available for your child and delivering a high quality program. So I would ask families that when you complete that form, if you could please make sure you stick to those plans. If something does need to change, would ask that you give us notice, at least a day or two's notice, by just ringing the office or sending us through an email. But we would ask that you spend a little bit of time on that form, make sure you give us as accurate information as possible what your plans are. And then if you do say your child's going to work from home, that we try and stick to that, because as I said, it's had a bit of an impact on our staff over the last week or two when people have changed the plans. We understand things change for people, but if we're not aware of that, it makes it very difficult to ensure we've got appropriate staff in place either on site or off site. So I would ask families if you could complete that form. There'll be a link to that form in the email that's come along with this video. And if we could have that completed by tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. To ensure that we can put the appropriate plans in place for the next 2 weeks. You won't need to fill out one next week because the form will actually ask you the questions for the next fortnight, as I am pretty confident we'll continue to be in lockdown as a school at least for the next fortnight. And it is a reminder again, as the government continues to remind us that if your child can work from home, they should be. But if for whatever reason your child needs to come to school, as a school we are committed to look after them either online or in person. But once again, the recommendation from the government is for students to work from home if they can work from home. I wanted to just also mention last night was our inaugural treasure hunt as part of our Zoom family fun nights on Wednesdays. Great job by Max. Apparently the treasure hunt went off really well. I'd like to see lots more people get involved in that over the next coming weeks. There'll be some information coming out about the next family night that will be coming up soon. I wanted to say thank you to Norm United, who was one of our major sponsor for the night, and also a special shout out to Custom Trophies, who have done a perpetual shield that we'll be able to put the name of each winner each time we have one of those evenings on the shield that we'll probably have in the on the sports cafe at school. So just want to once again thanks to Norm United as well as Custom Trophies for getting behind last night's treasure hunt, which was pretty cool. One of the other things that you'll be seeing shortly is there'll be it'll either be in the email that goes with this video or a link will come through tomorrow to families. It is that time of the year where we do our MRA as part of the Leader in Me program. So for families that are unfamiliar with that, we do a program at the school based on the work of Stephen Covey through the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and they have a school-friendly version of that program which is called Leader in Me. We do a survey once every year. So the first survey we held was last August, and it's that time of the year again for us to do the survey based on the qualities of the Leader in Me program. So there's 3 domains that we ask families to complete some questions on. The survey is open to all families or all parents. It's open to a subset of students as well as all staff at the school, and allows us to look at the results of that to see how we're traveling with our implementation of the Leader in Me program. And the Leader in Me program is about 3 domains being leadership, culture, and our academic/sporting programs. So we would ask families if you could do that. The more responses we get, the better, because the more reliable the information becomes. And that information really does determine where we spend a lot of our time and energy and focus for the coming 12 months. So we would ask families to take that survey pretty seriously and be as honest as you can And the more accurate that information in the wider group of families that complete that survey means that the data is valid and we can use that for some decision making. And we would appreciate if you could complete that. So more information will be either provided in the email along with this video, or there'll be an email sent out most likely tomorrow with a link to that survey. It doesn't take very long to complete it, but it's a really important piece of information as we hold ourselves accountable for the delivery of the program, in particular Leader in Me program. I had some questions during this last week about term dates for 2022. The term dates were actually set some time ago, and I apologize they weren't published earlier. They are now on the school website. So if you go along to the school website and look where the term dates are published, you'll now see for the 2022 term dates for next year. And I'm sure a lot of families use those term dates for planning their own experiences. Hopefully we're well and truly out of lockdown by that period, and hopefully we can get out for some normal school holiday or term breaks. The midterm breaks are also scheduled in there as well, so you've got plenty of notice now, at least for the next 18 months, to go ahead and make your plans for 2022. The other thing I wanted to mention as well, massive thank you to all the families that completed, or all the people that completed a Google review for us last week after last week's video. It's really, really handy and really fantastic, and some really nice feedback we've received from a number of families. I appreciate that. If you haven't done a Google review and you'd like to do one for us, go along to the school, just do Google search for us, and there's an opportunity when you do a Google search to do a Google review. And it's really important that people read those, because oftentimes, particularly with the world that we live in nowadays, people will put comments up about lots of different things, and we would really appreciate if any of our families were willing to share their experiences with us. And we would, obviously the more 5 stars the better, but it's just a great way for other families to discover what's on offer at Central Coast Sports College. The other thing I wanted to mention as well is some information for our Year 8 families. We will be sending in some communication to our Year 8 families over the next day or two. Most likely it'll be early next week, where we will be asking our Year 8 families to let us know their intentions with respect to the enrollment into Year 9. Our transition from Year 8 to Year 9 is a really important part of our journey as part of Central Coast Sports College, with our students entering Year 9 into what we refer to as a big picture program. It's a very rigorous program. There's fairly high expectations of family involvement for the next 4 years of your child's schooling. So we want to make sure that families are fully informed about what's in store for your child as they enter Year 9. And it's a really good opportunity for you to ask lots of questions, or to be really fully informed about what's in front of your child. We will expect and request that families through that process complete an application form of sorts, where it's just giving us a bit more information about your child, so that the Year 9 advisory teacher can start the year off fully informed about some of the things that make up your child. Obviously, our staff talk to each other all the time about our students and provide information to one another in regards to what we can do to help them on the journey. But part of this process is to make sure all of our families are fully informed about the big picture program, and particularly our Year 8 families who are not too far away. We're almost finished term 3, and before we know it, we'll be at the end of the year. So watch out for that for any Year 8 families. There'll be some information very specifically sent out to you, with an expectation that there's some information we'd like to gather from you in regards to your child and your desires as they enter into the last 4 years of the schooling at Central Coast Sports College. That's all I've got to say for now. Just another quick reminder, please make sure you complete the planning form that will be linked in this email, or the email that comes with this video. It'll be planning form for the next fortnight. I know that some people find it a little bit frustrating to do, but I just request that you spend 30 seconds completing that form for us. It really helps us in our planning, and I really hope everyone's going okay. We are hopefully on the downward journey out of what the current version of the lockdowns are currently standing as. However, it is what it is. We need to just continue to come together as a school community. I've really appreciated through that form some of the really lovely feedback we've received. When people do share that feedback with us, I'm actually sharing that with all of our staff, and it's a really nice way to really get on top of the world. And when we get such positive feedback from our families, just really acknowledging and thanking the work that our staff do on a daily basis. I really want to acknowledge our families that are at home at the moment learning together. I know it's challenging, but it's a great opportunity to come together as a really tight-knit school community and support one another. So hope everyone is going okay. And until next time, we'll look forward to doing another video update, most likely sometime next week, when we've got some news from the government about what the impact of the next set of lockdowns may have on schools going forward into term 4. Until next time, that's all I have to say, so bye for now.